This is a really special unemployment video. That's a part 1 and part 2. So look out for part 2. But the reason why I'm making this video is because I keep hearing this over resounding statement that a lot of people are making their own personal videos on their social media platforms that I've thrown out 1,000 resumes, I've applied to 1,000 jobs, and I put out my resume 1,000 times, and this may be the reason on why you are not getting hired for those jobs, because people are hiring. It may be challenging, but this is what you need to do. There is something that I want to talk to you about, and I don't know if you experience it in your own city or wherever you're from, your region, but we all know that there is a serious unemployment issue right now, and there are a lot of talented applicants that are going out there in person, that are, as if that's even a thing anymore, but it's so bad to where people are going out in person to apply for jobs. They are doing that whole face-to-face contact and they're consistently putting in applications online for companies that are actually putting out real legitimate wanted posts, either on LinkedIn or Indeed, ZipRecruiter, or any of these other job bases. And the thing that I'm also seeing is that there's a lot of actual government agencies that are still posting jobs that need to be filled. And on those agencies, a lot of times you can look and do a little bit of research to see who you are going to replace for the job that they are posting. If you go on to, like, for instance, if you're going to apply for a human resource job, right? So on that government or even the organization, if you go onto their website and you look up the company's information, a lot of times they have posted on there the person's name and sometimes their picture and their credentials and what their role was in that company under that title. And you can see what it is that you need to put in your application or resume to apply for that job specifically, so that it's not a hit and a miss. Like, you might be a human resource professional, right? And the job that you're applying for, however, they're looking for someone in human resources that is dealing with, let's just say, employees' benefits. Now, you may not show up as someone that is specifically experienced in employees' benefits on your resume. This is important because they may not specifically put on there that they are actually looking for someone who is experienced in employee benefits. Keep that in mind. So this is what you need to do. So you want to make sure that you are putting on there what they need automatically. Go to that website, find that last person that worked there, or what that department entails. Plug that into your resume. Search around that website. Look to see if there's like information that's like new news, or someone's getting ready to leave our department. They've been with us for so many years. We want to wish them a congratulations. Boom, that might be the person that they're posting that new job for. Find out what they did. Find out what their credentials are. All you got to do is look up in the company's website, and a lot of times the department's name and their contact and their background information is there. Just got to do some good research. If you see on their website that, you know what, there's maybe only 3 people in this whole entire department that has a master's degree, okay? And the rest of them maybe have like a regular 4-year, or some people, believe it or not, a lot of people that have these jobs, a lot of them don't even have like a regular traditional undergrad, and it's okay, but so you should be able to really outshine who they already have there now, and go on there, do your due diligence to make sure that you are putting in on your resume what they need. Don't put on your resume what they might need. If you want to include and incorporate one benefit that will supersede you over any other applicant, you can put that in there, but make sure that you put in there what you can pick up behind the next person, because really that's what they need. A lot of times companies in this economy, they're replacing people that have left on to a better role, or maybe they did like an internal upper level incline to another department, or maybe even just salary. I don't know, whatever the case, but there's a reason on why they need to get that role filled as soon as possible, because either someone who's their immediate supervisor or manager is taking over a lot of roles, or people in that department are having to multitask and take on that role, and it's taking away from everybody else's main job descriptions and what they're really getting paid for. I just wanted to throw that little tidbit out there for you. I'm in the middle of work myself, so that came to my mind. I thought about that. I see a lot of people looking for jobs, and I know it is really stressful. To not be discouraged, okay, in this season. Also remember one thing, and that is this: even myself, there's no job security anymore. If you think there's job security, you are living in la land down the street from Delusional Boulevard. Okay, there is no more job security. But let me tell you this: there is something called being self-employed. Find a skill that you have that people are willing to pay for, whether they're in a bad economy or not. People still need to get services done. Now, I have a graduate degree, okay? If today, God forbid, my job tells me, you know what, we're gonna have to let you go. I'm still a licensed cosmetologist from years and years and years ago. Do you think them telling me that I am no longer employed with them would stop me from having to pay my bills? Absolutely not. I would go into survival mode. That's what you're going to have to do, especially if you are living with your parents. So I am a parent of an adult child that lives independently. I live independently as well, and has for years, and took care of her. And so I'm coming from a place of concern, and I used to counsel young people, and I had organizations. So this is the reason why I'm providing this information. That's a really smart thing to do if you can. If you're living with your parents, they are helping you to get ahead much further than a lot of other young people, or a lot of other people who are adults that don't have that option. So you're able to save money. Also, just a heads up, sometimes I hear callers will call in for a job, and they want to leave information. A lot of y'all do not sound confident. Many of you, you sound very young, inexperienced, very timid. Make sure that you are speaking very clear. You are pronouncing and enunciating your words. Make sure that if you give a name, give the spelling of your name. Do not rush it, okay? Do not rush your phone number. Do not rush your email. In fact, make sure that if you get someone on the phone, okay, that you encourage to leave that type of contact information. A lot of times people do not want to call folks back, okay? They don't even want to call companies back. So they definitely don't want to call you back. Leave your email And also let them know you can get texts. That's also very convenient for employers, okay? Because they're dealing with time and they do not want you to waste theirs. If you call in and you may have an accent, okay, work on that. Although America is home of the free, okay, but there's a lot of discriminatory practices that still go on even in the initial contact with you even just calling over the phone. Speak slowly and clearly. And in fact, I would encourage you to practice that, because once you get into the interview, not everyone is very understanding. And I'm just gonna be honest with you, I've seen this, I've heard this, okay? And that's why I want to make a video to help folks, because again, there's a lot of silent, and especially if you're not from this country, you may not pick up on certain social cues in the workforce. And that's why a lot of times Black Americans try to let people know that are new to this country, because we've been socialized to that and we understand how you have to operate in that to survive. And so you can have 1,000 degrees, but unfortunately certain bigotries are still, prejudices are still going around, okay? Or they're still trying to keep certain people out, you know. And if you're not the majority, you know, you kind of don't really get to make up the rules of the game. And I'm just telling you this in all sincerity, because I want to see people win. I don't care where you come from, I want to see you win. Now, please share this message with someone else that's also looking for a job. And again, do not be discouraged. Hello? This is the time where a lot of you are going to become business owners. I used to be a business owner myself years ago, and I made more money working for myself. Yeah, it was a lot of responsibility. Yeah, it was a lot of stress, but I had the freedom and the flexibility of my own money, and I made money, you know. So sometimes this is an open door opportunity for you to open up your own profitable businesses. Do not fall for B2B pyramid schemes. If you pay me this, you can have this type of business. No. I'm going to do a part 2 on potential businesses that you may want to look into, on some possible ventures that you may want to explore and do a little bit more research on, but it's something that you can do. It will not take you a lot of money to do, and if you don't have a lot of money, it's a great option. Okay, I just want to let you know that. And it's something that can expand. These ideas are things that can expand. So you know what, you may not make a whole lot of money the first week that you do it, but you can't be discouraged. As a business owner, you got to stay focused. All right, and this is something that can help to compensate maybe some gig jobs that you're already doing. So look out for video number 2. I'm going to try to do that later on today. I'm wishing you the best.